All right, guys, welcome back to Mr. Post Frame. Today is going to be day 25 of the Solo Barndo Build. I will put notes in the video on day 23 and day 24 of what we did and how much time it took. But today we're going to be working on our post and beam porch. If you guys want more information about Mr. Post Frame or how to get started in your own barndominium, check out www.mrpostframe.com. But let's go ahead and jump into today's show. Alright guys, day 25. Yesterday I finished up all the soffit fascia, installed the last two windows. I snapped lines around and marked out for all of my wainscot, so I should take measurements for all my steel. This morning I ordered steel for the one gable end and that back side. That way I can get that up, get that secured, and then I'll order the rest of everything underneath the porch and above the porch once I get this built. So you can see we have all of the concrete completed. Our brackets are here. I'll have to mark out my 9-foot ceiling height so I know where to put all my brackets once I get this done. So I need to know a couple things. One, I need to know this roof pitch, which if I flip through this, there's a page. This is a 312 roof from the edge of the house to the edge of the concrete, which will be my overhang will match, is 11 feet. I can figure out everything I need to know based off of that in order to make my rafters. Alright, step one is make your rafter pitch, which is a roof pitch. That's 312. I've done that. That makes this 76 degrees. Then I'm going to measure from this point my diagonal, which I got because I have 11-foot run, 33-inch rise, gives me 136-inch diagonal. So 136 inches from there. Puts us there. Gives me 14 degrees because 76 from 90 is 14. I'll extend that out with my level, and then we can put our template up and see how we did. But that's just showing you how to make your first one. Alright, so here's all of our rafters. Here's all of our sub rafters. So these will be underneath the rafters. That'll create our ceiling height that we can hook our framing to. Those are cut 10 feet, 10.5 inches. So to the outside edge of my post is 10 feet. I have a 1-foot overhang. So I cut these 1.5 inches short of 11 feet so that my fascia board will create that 11-foot mark. So those are all cut. These are all cut. I'm going to get those stacked over there, and then we'll get our posts over there. These are all cut and prepped. I numbered them. One actually starts here. So I'll take this around and just set them all where they go. These brackets, my recommendation is that you paint them. They're fine this way. I haven't painted mine, but my intention would to paint these black. We're going to be using these Simpson Strong Tie structural screws and these bolt system they have. It really looks cool. That fits in there almost perfect, so it'll give it a nice cool look. And then we'll get our structural screw in there to secure it. We're going to use these on all of these posts. These are under 9 feet, so these shouldn't be too bad to stand up by myself, plumb, screw in. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure off there to where my 10-foot mark is, make a mark. I'm going to do that on that last one, and then I'll just run a string line and bump all these up to the string line. Did you get that on video?
No, I just missed it.
If that had been a green treat, it'd have been gone. Alright guys, so we have all of the posts up, and I tell you what, this gets me really excited because it starts to completely change the look of the house. So all the posts are up, we plumbed them inside to outside. Now what we're going to do is I'll measure for my beams off of the bottom of the post, because those are not going to be able to move. These things are pretty darn square the way they came. With that saw, I can make one cut both ways and cut that out. It's just how straight can I cut. You see what I mean? This one will be no problem. So I'm going to mark that end so that I can set my depth to this, cut both of those, and then I'll deal with the other side. Good, Justin. My great-grandfather with his hand tools probably could have done a little better, but probably the best one I've ever seen. Yeah, because I measured it off the bottom and those can't move. So as long as I match those measurements up with the bottom, it should be plumb. Now, I might have to pull both of them, but this one should be identical to the other one. Does that make sense? Threads in there. So I got to get an extension because I don't think that will get me down in there far enough. man enough to do this or not, Justin? Alright guys, we got this all up there. It looks beautiful. Problem is I screwed up. It was supposed to go over there. So the bad news is it's in the wrong spot. The good news, I just measured and there's only about an 1/8 inch difference. So I will be able to make it work. So I got to take this down. Holes are already drilled. They're going to line up. Luckily, my measurements off the corners are almost identical to the post. So we should just be able to take the screws out, shift it over there, and we'll be good. Alright guys, so here's how these are all interlocking. So I notched a half of this off and then did the reverse on the other side. So in this one, right in the center, I have a screw going down into the center of this post. And then up here, I'm going to do 2 on each side. So I'll have 2 more going down in there. And then I'll put brackets on each corner. And this will be a really solid. I like this over a miter because as your wood expands and contracts, that miter can open up on the inside, and I just think this looks way better. So we're gonna go ahead and drill these down in, get this anchored, get those starting to rain. So, like I told you before, I had this beam on this side, which the only way I could have it work with the pieces I bought is I needed this one over here. So, luckily, my first posts are 10 feet. They were identical. The next ones are 8 and 8, so it worked out just fine. So there's lots of different ways you can get this. I already have my wainscot line snapped. I know it's nice and level, so what I did is I took a level from the beam to the wall, made my mark, measured up from the blue line, and I'm going to just transfer that along the side, and then I can snap a line. So my measurement was 70 and 13/16, which is crazy because that's what it always, my metal is always right around 70 and 3/4 for my under my porches. So when you're good.
I'm good.
Glad I found it. Just wish I would have found it to do the roof. Good?
Yep.
Hold on. I'm gonna do it one more time. Actually, that's really good, so. Alright, it is done raining. I got this first end beam down here ready to go, so I'm gonna go out here, try to put it up. It is almost 6 o'clock. I really wanted to get the 2 end beams up. I'm down to my and ones, so we'll see how this goes. See, I mounted a hanger right there, a 6x6 hanger, painted black, and I'm gonna toe screw my 6x6 in from the top. That way I don't have to put any screws in the side of this, and it's gonna be just fine. And then it will kind of sit on that, come down, and then there will be a decorative bracket that is structural too, but there's not gonna be any weight on this, so it's really not that big of a deal. Alright, I'm not sure how good of an idea this is, but it's really muddy out here. Alright guys, so I got that up there and all fastened in. Got this little angle bracket in there. Looks real nice. I already have all my sub rafters and rafters cut, so what I need to do is lay them out. But before I do that, I want to plumb this wall, or whatever you want to call it, and the one going down there. This needed to go that way, so I just took a strap, wrapped it around there, down a couple posts over, pulled the whole wall that way, and then that wall needs to go that way. So I'm going to take my ladder down there, wrap one around there, and pull it that way till it's plumb. Then I can lay out, what I can do is I can pull a tape from there, mark all of my centers, and then I can transfer that along here, put my brackets, mount my sub rafters, get my rafters in, and I'll work my way around all the way to the other end. So I just put my strap up and I'm just going to check the 2 outside ones, because whatever those do, the middle ones will follow. Maybe one ratchet this way. One click at a time. I have both of these walls. I'm just going to call them walls, but they're post and beam obviously. But I have them both plumbed. So now tomorrow morning when we come out here, hopefully it'll dry up and not be muddy since we got this rain. We will transfer, we'll mark, write our measurements down for where our rafters are going to be, and then we'll transfer those to the wall, mount our brackets, and we can start framing this porch up as far as the rafters go. This is a big job to get done today, cutting all of these, not, you know, getting them all to fit together really nice. I put one up on the wrong side. Luckily my measurements match, so it didn't affect me at all, just took me a little bit extra time. And I also took a couple of these beams down after I put them up, set them in place. I didn't like my cut, so I just brought them down, shaved a little off, put them back up to make sure my cuts were as nice looking as possible, since you're going to be able to see some of them. So they actually all turned out really, really well. I'm happy with it, and so I think this is going to turn out really nice. This looks amazing, this Douglas fir porch. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap on today's show. Hopefully you found it useful. The next show, day 26, is going to be the rest of the porch framing, so make sure you come back and check that out. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, share us with your friends, and we will catch you on the next video.